Hey, this is David Thomas with Rally Software. Just want to take a moment and show you my latest development environment for building apps on the Rally platform. A couple of heads up. First is this is geared for folks that tend to use command line type editors like VI or that really big heavyweight one called Emacs or other tools, but is not meant for folks that use IDEs like Sublime or whatever. The second thing is that this is on a Mac and it's using Chrome, the Chrome development tools. That should be the only thing I should mention. Yeah, okay. So in any case, so let's say, for example, you're out at the in GitHub at the Rally community portal for all of our user-contributed apps. And let's say you come down and you find one. Here's one here, defects by priority that I was looking at earlier. So this app is going to give me a grid of my defects in Rally, and filtered by a priority that I select. So I'm interested in this app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in Chrome and open up my developer tools, my console here. And there's this really great extension, thanks to Colin O'Brien at Rally for pointing this out, that gives me terminal access to my Mac, as if I opened up a regular terminal down here. Basically the same thing, D Thomas MBR. So what I can do from here is I can, using GitHub, I can go and copy the URL, and I can do git clone and paste in that particular repository. Go into it, defects by priority. And there you can see the source code. Now what I want to do is I want to use this debug file to actually run the app. What you'll notice real quick too in the config file is that it is pointing to Rally 1. I've already logged in through my browser, so it's got my credentials loaded already. But in any case, what I'm interested in is loading this app debug file. So I'll give myself a little hint here as to the location of that file and copy that path. And up above I can do file and paste. Get into that directory, and there's my app debug, and this is the actual app that's running locally, pointing and pulling data out of Rally. So let's say I'm interested in adding a column to this grid. So I'll use my favorite editor, the most powerful editor on the planet, edit my JavaScript file, and I'll come down to where my columns are specified in the column config, and I'll say, let's add let's say Kanban state. I'll write my file and come in and do a refresh. And here you'll see on the right is my Kanban state, which is pretty freaking awesome. Now, let's say I want to add some more columns, but I'm not really sure what all columns are available. So usually what I'll do is I'll come into the developer portal, excuse me, and from here I usually just drop in. I usually drop into the app SDK 2.0 documentation portal. And one of the things I can get from the landing page here is the web service API docs. So from here, I can come in, let's say I'm looking at defects. That's the model. So here's defects, here are all the possible fields, and let's say I'm interested in this blocked field. Now, I could go back to the other tab and add that in, but what I would like to do is I might spend some time here, either in this documentation or maybe even in the 2.0 SDK documentation, which I really would because there's a lot of code examples I want to copy. So what I'd like to do is come in and create a new, open up a terminal, but what you can see is it creates a new one. And I can come into the folder with all my files, but I can't edit the app.js because it's open in the other terminal. So there's a solution to that, which is there's a tool called Tmux, or Terminal Multiplexer. And so Tmux lets me create a session, and in that session I can log into it from many places, but have a single environment. So I'm going to do tmux create session and just call it app dev. I always forget it's called a new session. Okay, so I've created the session. It is what it is at the moment. And I'll go ahead and open up my JavaScript file. Now back in my documentation, let's bring this next to a little easier. In the documentation tab, I can do tmux list sessions. You can see here it's got app dev, so I'll connect to it. Tmux attach session app dev. And so now you can see I'm connected to the same session. So now that I can see the documentation up above, let's go ahead and add blocked. What's really neat is that if I tab back over to the original development tab, there's blocked. So these are just two different sessions, the exact same thing down on the bottom. All I have to do is hit Command R to reload, and up along the top, you'll see I've now got a blocked column on my window. Now it's actually pretty common. Like if I come in and let's say I'm actually in the SDK and I'm looking at say the rally.data.wasabi data store, right? And so some of these docs have some really good code. So I might come in, and maybe there's a little faster way, but it's one of those things to set this up, but you only have to do it once. So I'll come into terminal, tmux list sessions, tmux attach session app dev, and now I can actually code from here and copy and paste code from the actual docs, and I can toggle between any number of windows and have this code down below. So in this short example, basically wanted to highlight that I can use all within Chrome on my Mac. Not that you can't set it up elsewhere, but I happen to be on Mac. I can use Get to download the code from GitHub for an app. I can edit that code in a terminal in the browser. I can refresh the tab, the current working tab, to reload my changes in the app, and then I can use tmux within multiple terminals to share that app development session across tabs. And of course, you also want to take a look at, if you go look at the Rally, actually I want to get this from the developer portal. There's the build tool. If you scroll down, the Rally app builder tool, you want to have this in place. There's all great documentation on how to install this, but this is what you can do to do the, once you make some code changes, you can run build, and this will compile all the code and put it into a single HTML file that you can paste into Rally to run for real. I'll leave it at that. I hope this was super helpful, and happy coding on the Rally platform.